Hi everyone, Glenn and Ben from the Good Movie Monday podcast. We haven't reviewed a movie
No.
that we've seen theatrically for a while. Can't call them reactions.
Well, we can. It's just people whinging about it on the internet that
Yes.
it says we can't.
Yes, that's right. Anyway, so what did we see? There's so many movies lately. What did we see this week? Strays.
Strays. We saw Strays, but we didn't see it together, which is unusual. I got myself a new Glenn for the
Yeah.
screening, which was great.
What was it? What?
It was great. Did you see the photo that we posted up on the?
I did, and wasn't happy.
I got him to take it and try to do it in the same. It was a lot of fun, as was the movie.
The movie. Who would have thought that you can cross Homeward Bound and Superbad?
It's like a Farrelly Brothers movie or a Zucker movie before them.
I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I think if you are skeptical because of the trailer, ignore that. Go and watch it.
Go and watch it. It's definitely worthwhile. The funniest thing was, I think, like, certainly Dave, who I brought with me, and as I heard other people in the cinema saying, like, oh man, I wouldn't, it's not really for kids, is it? Kind of like in a laughing manner, and you're like 100%. 10-year-old me would have loved this film,
But also,
and I get it. I understand that it's from a parental point of view, it's
Correct.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
But if you don't think your kids are using that language and talking like that every day at school, you don't know what's going on.
I think that commentary. I agree with you 100%. I think that commentary though is that the poster itself is misleading in a kindergarten sense. Like, this looks like a kids movie for 5-year-olds, right? And it's not. That's why they've put the big like censor thing in the mouth.
Yeah.
So no one watching this is going to be affected like that, but I would urge parents to really think about what they're taking their kids to before this one.
Yeah.
Look
Like,
into
their
it.
kids
Look
have
into
definitely heard all of those words that they use in it before, and really, that's really at
Unless
the heart
they're
of it, that's all there is language.
It's language. It's sexual innuendo.
Sexual innuendo, which they'll go over their head. Like, if you let your kids watch Play School, then
80s Play School anyway.
80s Play School, full of sexual innuendo.
Buddy John.
Yeah. Noni.
Benita was never.
But Benita was Benita was the one because she actually hated the kids in real life.
She scared me.
She was great, but I think this is actually really a great period, a bit of a renaissance period for Universal. Like, we saw the trailer for this, and I can't remember if it was Cocaine Bear or it was Knock at the Cabin.
I think it was Cocaine Bear.
But I think it was Cocaine Bear, which is also a banger of a film. But there was this, Renfield, Polite Society, I think, were the 3 trailers that we saw before the film.
Yeah.
And I think I may have turned to you at the time going, and we hadn't seen Cocaine Bear at that time, but I was like, I think I'm actually more interested in seeing these films than I am in seeing Cocaine Bear, which turns out like Cocaine Bear was brilliant, but not one of these films disappointed.
I
thought they were all great.
I think you said my year is set.
Yeah.
And it wasn't ever.
Yeah, like I can conceivably, I can put all of those films in my top 10 this year.
So this is and I saw this at the cinema as well by myself. Right, they set up a screening for me because I interviewed the filmmaker, and that may be coming up on a future episode. So all pending permissions and whatnot. But my point is, I was in a cinema by myself, laughing my ass off, and that's rare. Usually, you keep it in when you laugh. You just laugh internally. But
I think what you would have missed out on experiencing this in the cinema is laughing at other people finding the stuff so funny, like the inappropriate stuff.
And I know exactly what stuff that was. I mean, I just love that the whole premise of this is you've got a dog called Reggie that he's got an abusive owner.
I believe his name is Shitstain.
Shitstain. Who has an abusive owner who gets rid of him. Throws the ball, drives him 3 hours away, throws the ball, says fuck off or whatever.
No, the game is fetch and fuck.
Yeah, so when he gets back, the owner goes fuck.
Yeah.
But Reggie then befriends another stray dog called Bug, and
voiced by Jamie Foxx,
who is the highlight of the movie, I think. But when it becomes clear to Reggie that he had an abusive owner, then the mission becomes, let's go back and bite his dick off.
Yeah.
And that's the premise. But what I love about this movie the most is that so much of the humour is in the nature of dogs.
Yeah.
They really tap into the psyche of dogs, and they take the time to think about those little idiocentric moments, like, why do humans pick up shit? Like, why do dogs go in circles before they rest?
Chocolate. It's 100% correct.
Isla Fisher is fantastic as the Aussie Shepherd.
I didn't recognise her voice. I knew it was an Australian.
Yeah.
but I did not recognize her voice until the credits, and I was like, oh my god, of course.
And she was fantastic. Everyone in this was fantastic.
They were all great.
And 95% of the animal actors were actual real. Like, they filmed, when I was talking to the director, he said he filmed the entire film before he even cast the actors. So he got the dog mannerisms down first. So, and he went through so many dogs to try and fit and all that. And they didn't know which dog amongst them all was going to be the lead dog.
Yeah, right.
They just waited till the one that sort of had the most personality made itself obvious, clear. And then they cast it to sort of fit the personalities. But yeah, so the only real animation was making their mouths move, which had to be done, really.
They couldn't do the old Mr. Ed trick with the peanut butter.
Peanut butter. And then augmenting some things that you just couldn't possibly have a dog act, certain jumps or whatever. But
or the key scene. You can't,
Anyway, and it was short and snappy. That's the best part of it.
Yeah.
Very timely, too, with the mushrooms, eh?
All of these Universal films, I think, were all nice.
Yeah, I feel like...
Nice, nice timelines.
Yes, I feel like Universal, they're hitting the brief. They're reading the memo, understanding what the audience wants, whereas Disney, on the other hand, are just...
Yeah, there's some issues there. But I think, funnily enough, I think it is weird when, all of these movies are great, but none of them are, I don't think any of them are, box office, setting box office records or anything like that. It's just consistently good, so that you can go knowing that you're not wasting your $26.
Absolutely. Yeah, just bang for buck with this one.
Bang for buck. Because, with the big tentpole movies... Yeah. 50% of the time they're great, and 50% of the... Actually, it's probably worse. 75% of the time they're trash. And you're like, ugh, too many people...
It's the exact same formula repeated that they did with Good Boys, where they put kids into these adult situations. In this one, they just put dogs into the adult situations. But the story's basically the same, the jokes are basically the same, but it's funny. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, there we go. So that enough?
I think that...
Go see it. Theatrically, or when it's on home entertainment, catch it on Blu-ray.
I think it will actually help if you see it with an audience, but still funny. And it actually is one of those good comedies that... comedies are great to own, because you can watch them again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And this one, I think there's plenty of rewatchability in this film.
The second I have this one in my hand, I'll be watching it.